All right, here we go. Here we go. I know that this camera sometimes cuts out on the audio, like don't get enough close. So I'm gonna just kind of go through some of these files real quick that I received today. I mean, there's 588 pages, so I'm about to do a buyer move and kind of just go through them as we're sitting here. So first we got the exhibits. So we've got the EEOC complaint and email from October 10th, 2023. We got a handwritten document by Burge, transcripts of the July 25th Battistelli interview, and the 25th affidavit, the August 5th, 24 email from Martin Singh, and attached this Battistelli statement from Burge, May 8th, 2024 op ed. Text messages downloaded by the FBI from Battistelli's phone from August 20th, 2024. Battistelli's email to Lennox describing the Montana trip, February 14th, 2024 op ed, and then the transcript of the September 7th, 2024 Battistelli interview. This is the first of the 6 that were sent to me. So the first one's an email by Jack Moran to Dan Petticourt. It's Exhibit A. It just says, Dan, per our discussion, see attached. Now here's a charge of discrimination where it says, she wrote, it's all filled out. I worked as a Lorain County Prosecutor's Office for approximately 2.5 years as Director of Public Relations and Community Outreach Coordinator. During my employment, my supervisor, J.D. Tomlinson, pursued and fostered a romantic and sexual relationship with me. Throughout this relationship, I felt I needed to comply with Tomlinson's desires or else I would lose my job. In arguments over the nature and future of our relationship, Tomlinson indicated to me that he did not view my job as necessary with the county, and I was required to do whatever I say you do, and as a result, I was the victim of sexual harassment. Our relationship had been used as a basis to deny me appropriate pay raises or job transfers, and as Tomlinson said, he wanted to be sure no one had any reason to find out about our relationship. At various points, I attempted to discontinue the romantic sexual aspect of our relationship and maintain only the employer-employee dynamic. Most recently, in August of 23, when I did this, Tomlinson became exceedingly upset that I was not communicating with him via telephone and text, and also accused me of flirting with him or flirting with other men. Tomlinson, directly or through instructions with others, would insist that I always be available to answer his requests at calls. As this was going on, I approached Dan Petticourt of the Civil Division prosecutor to express my concerns about race ethnicity discrimination. More specifically, I told Petticourt I believe Gary Longacore, investigator, was inappropriately discriminating against Lisa Barrios, a Hispanic employee. Longacore previously resisted hiring Barrios and paying her appropriately because, in his words, she was ghetto, in quotes. When Longacore was forced to hire her anyway, he physically segregated her from the other similarly situated employees in the office performing the same job. In response to my complaint, Longacore, Tomlinson, and office employees Jim Burge collectively targeted me by accusing me of filing a false complaint, preparing a document for my personnel file indicating that my complaint was untrue, and requiring that I sign a retraction authored by Burge. And then this is signed. It's clicked on attorney at law. She signed it on 10/10/23, and sworn and subscribed. It's certified. On August 15, 2023, she writes, so EOC charge particulars, page 2. I met with Tomlinson, discussed my concerns about how his office was reacting to my sincere discrimination complaint. In anger, Tomlinson yelled at me, grabbed me, and shook me, leaving me injuries and bruises. I immediately left the office and resigned my position out of fear for my safety and security, and thus was constructively discharged from my employment in retaliation for raising concerns about discrimination and or ending my sexual relationship with Tomlinson. I think it's worthy noting that, I mean, I know a lot of people talk about her in different ways. She is a victim. She's also a party to this. It's my understanding that she was sleeping with him back when he was representing her in Avon Lake. And otherwise, he couldn't have hired her. Otherwise, he shouldn't have been sleeping with her, because if she was previously his client, then he can't sleep with his clients. That's just the way it works, folks. Like, you're not allowed to sleep with your clients. So she was his client back then. So either he violated some ethical code when he slept with a client and then hired that client, or he has been in a relationship with her since back then, which would make it legal for him to represent her, because you can represent someone that you're already in a relationship with in Ohio, but it wouldn't make it have been ethical for him to hire her knowing that she was his girlfriend. Just saying, like, that's salacious enough. Not getting into the other stuff that's listed here. So this is the statement interview that was listed by her, conducted at the office of attorney Kenny Leux. Leux? I don't know how to say that. Lieux. I apologize. And appearances were Captain Van Sant, attorney Ronald O'Brien, attorney Kenny Leux. So it says here a taped interview, and this is the transcript. Sorry, this is going to be boring. Mr. Van Sant, today is Thursday, July 25th, 2024. Captain Van Sant with attorney Rolando O'Brien in Kenny Luke's office. We are here also talking with Jen Battistelli. And Jen, if you can just do an introduction with your name and date of birth. Miss Battistelli, it's Jennifer Battistelli, 6/17/73. Miss O'Brien. Mr. O'Brien states out loud. I'm just going to say, like, so Mr. O'Brien will be the person making the statement, and then here's the statement. Mr. O'Brien states, and at least Miss Battistelli is giving a voluntary statement with inquiry by Lorain County Sheriff. A subpoena was issued for her for today for a hearing that has been since preempted by a filing of an interlocutory notice of appeal, but she has agreed to give us an interview regarding the underlying circumstances of the matter, and I appreciate that. And at least we have told her that if she doesn't understand any questions, to ask us what we mean by it, and if she needs clarification, or if she needs or feels that she could consult with Mr. Looks before answering any questions. We've advised her and Mr. Looks to let us know. Um, we certainly would permit that. And just trying to get at the underlying facts at the inquiry number one. And she has agreed to be cooperative and truthful. And with that, Captain Van Sant from the Sheriff's Office is going to ask her some questions by way of background regarding a settlement matter and subsequent conversations over the last several months with Prosecutor J.D. Thomas. Do you have anything to add to that? Ms. Battistelli states no. Mr. O'Brien states, okay, well then good. By Mr. Van Sant. Question. Do you want to lock that in, or I guess that we will start with, just to lay the foundation, when and how did you meet JD? I met him probably like in 2000 or so, 10, 11, 12, I don't know, a long time ago. It was through mutual friends. And then it was just a casual conversation that you would see him out in social settings. Yes, then we became like closer, and he would come over and I had like a party or something. We used those parties and events at my house. Question. Okay. And what prompted, or at one point in time, was he your attorney? Yes. Question. Can you tell me a little bit about that, and what prompted that, and how did he become that he was your attorney? This is important, folks. I was going through a divorce, and somewhere along the line, my ex-husband had heard, and he works for the Ford plant. And there were charges against me with the kids and the car and everything. So we got into a fight one morning, and I threw a fan. And then Chris, my ex-husband, calls the police, and I get arrested. And then JD came to save me. Came to save me. Listen to that. Came to save me. So, do you remember what year that was? That was 2019, I think. So you say JD comes to save you. Did he step in as your attorney, or was he appointed as your attorney? So I'm in jail because it's a holiday weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. He shows up at the jail. My kids call him, and I tell him what happened, and he said that I will handle it. You can hire me, and you don't have to pay me. And then I was just like telling Attorney Lux this morning that all of a sudden me and Chris make up, and I go to court, and I get a disorderly conduct, and I say, no, JD, I am not taking that. And like, I just threw a fan, and he said,